Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, today I want to talk about how angry women from around the world are gathering and showing their anger towards men with increasing regularity. Large political rallies are being staged all around the world. But what is the real purpose of these demonstrations? Have men really been oppressing women for thousands of years? Or is there some ulterior motive behind these gatherings? On the surface, these rallies are presented as valid political movements seeking social justice and change. But there's something else hidden beneath the surface. Are these women being programmed to blame men for all the problems and frustration in their lives? And is there some other political motivation behind the staging of these demonstrations? The purpose behind these demonstrations is political power and political theater. Here's the thing. As these demonstrations are presented with increasing regularity, you have to ask yourself, as a man, why? And the motivation behind these rallies is to incite and inflame women's emotions. Understand, and you do on a subconscious level, that all of this is predicated upon the idea that men have been oppressing women for thousands of years. And that means you and me. Does anyone honestly believe that Daddy's little princess, your little princess, is going to go to these rallies, engage in these demonstrations, and then come home with affection and respect towards the men in their lives? Indeed, these feelings will extend even to their own children and brothers. Who are the good men left after the women have put on these demonstrations? I think you can see from the images on the screen that the women are losing themselves. They're giving themselves over to these large demonstrations, and that there is a natural conclusion, an end game in mind regarding these demonstrations. What is that end game? Where is this leading us? Western civilizations are increasingly marginalizing the men. They are stripping the men of their dignity and their place within society and within culture. This dehumanizing effect is real, and it is being exhibited in how men are treated within society. Increasingly, women are taking over the workplace, and they're pushing the men out. Understand that this is how you make your living. This is how you get by in the world. This is how you survive. And if the society can be indoctrinated to the belief that men are in fact the enemy of women, then the men are being shut out. And your life as a man, as a human being, is becoming increasingly difficult. One of the main purposes of male-female relationships is simply that there is this symbiosis, there is this interactivity between men and women, leading to the reproduction of the human race. Indeed, this is exactly where you come from. If a wedge can be drawn between the men and the women, if the women can be incited to hate the men, this fundamental aspect of our biological necessities are destroyed. I think you can see from the images on the screen that the women give themselves to these large political demonstrations, that they lose themselves with abandon, that they get to indulge their feelings and emotions regarding this issue, as if they blame men for all the frustrations and problems in their lives. But is it really that simple? Are men truly to blame for the dissatisfaction and anger that the women feel? This is the question that you have to ask yourself. And what a simple scapegoating is taking place. How easy it is to tell someone, oh, the reason why you're dissatisfied in life is because the men are oppressing you. What a simple, easy answer. They don't have to think about it any longer. They're not even responsible for it. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to improve themselves. They don't have to struggle and compete in an open, free market. All they have to do is blame the men. And now, these demonstrations, this mindset, is going around the globe, around the world. How do the men feel after witnessing these demonstrations? Are they angry, or are they scared? Men are scared, and rightly so. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to figure out where these demonstrations and political rallies are leading. What's the natural end game of these demonstrations? It is to take away the rights and to essentially destroy the men. So that's the environment that we men find ourselves living in. It's a frightening prospect, isn't it? Now, let's contrast with the philosophy of MGTOW. Is MGTOW hatred towards women? Or is MGTOW a safe harbor, a refuge for men and boys against this political and social onslaught. MGTOW is the last best hope for men to live a decent life. MGTOW is the mindset of freedom and independence for a human being. In face of this political propaganda, men are turning to MGTOW in greater numbers. And it's the right move. I admire and respect the men of MGTOW. Your courage, your example, your leadership, your willingness to stand up for freedom and independence is part of the nobility of human beings. These demonstrations, these rallies, these giant spectacles are an appeal to the barbaric nature of human beings. And isn't it obvious how the women throw themselves? Could you imagine a demonstration like this staged by men? Do men do anything? Of course not. Men do not behave in this manner. They would recognize the message that it sends to the women, to the society, to the workplace. This would be unthinkable. And yet, the women around the world are venting, demonstrating, showing their anger. We as men tend to look upon emotional displays as cute, emotional, immature. But what if there is a deeper purpose behind these rallies? What if these women are being propagandized and indoctrinated to hate men? People, demagogues who want power, use to secure and grab the reins of power. They stoke resentment and dissatisfaction within the population. And then they offer themselves as the means of this political change. This is a very frightening prospect, especially since these demonstrations are taking place with increasing regularity. Now, we don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. We're going to talk about this more, but I want you to ask yourself, again, what if the men put on similar rallies? What kind of message would that send? And I think that you understand what the women are saying and trying to do, and the message that they are sending. Let the philosophy of MGTOW be a refuge and a sanctuary for men in a society that is trying to destroy them. I want to talk about this subject in more detail, but I don't have a lot of time right now. So I'm asking you, as free, independent men who recognize that the human spirit needs to be free, to think about these questions, to ask yourself these questions, and to support the MGTOW movement, a nonviolent, beneficial movement to help men and boys in need. I want you to spread the MGTOW message. I want you to support me in spreading the MGTOW message. Indeed, I may not have much time. I may be going away for the rest of my life based on the emotions that are incited in these rallies. the dehumanization of man, the anger of women, scapegoating, blaming men for all their problems. What a simple and easy answer, and how satisfying for them to indulge the worst part of their nature while blaming men for everything and not taking responsibility for any of the problems or the growth that is needed in their lives. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, but let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe to the Howard Dare channel. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I hope to, and plan to, have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.